Did you send me that thing about the star that hovered with the neodymium magnet?
Oh yeah, that was quite interesting, wasn't it? It's some kind of like UFO star. It's a wound magnet into a star. I noticed it was done in 10 points, I think.
But it was interesting that when the power was going through it, it became magnetic itself, and copper's not magnetic.
Yeah, you can get magnetic wire. You normally get it round VDU units, monitors. Wrap around the back of the electron guns. We're just talking about free energy and free power, and I've just been to the car park, and this taxi driver got out as they were cleaning the boot. They noticed that I've got a hydrogen generator in the boot. Don't go and tell the government, will you? And basically the car runs on water. It needs repairing at the moment, it needs servicing, but the car runs on water. But don't go and tell David Cameron, will you? How come? Well, David Cameron, as you know, he likes you. He's been flying around in his helicopter, hasn't he?
Yep.
And telling everybody that we need nuclear power. Although for years, people and power stations are aware of magnetic generators, especially in Australia, and water-powered generators which produce hydrogen and oxygen. And everybody could have this power completely, you know, for next to nothing.
Well, you can get in America, you can get the welders totally from hydrogen.
Yeah.
So if they can produce enough hydrogen to weld things, then...
So the so-called energy companies, which are just owned by shareholders, and I'm sure you'll agree.
Oh, yes.
Right, they've made billions upon billions upon billions, and all they've done is hijack the national grid, and Transco and the national grid, of which Rob B tells us, it's Rob B, isn't it?
No,
Rob Freeman.
Yeah, Rob B, yeah.
Rob B and Rob Freeman say that you should be doing business with them. I'd like to ask the energy companies, where are they actually buying the wholesale from? And if the government, our so-called, I heard it on TV today, the government have our best interests at heart, and the safety of the general public as priority number one. Oh,
it seems like that. It really seems like that.
So if they do they realise that anything, cars, aeroplanes, power stations, all can run on water and magnetic power, and that this energy has already been paid for, and that nobody should be paying anything to any so-called energy companies?
Well, of course not. I mean, before it was apparently sold off, we owned it all.
Yeah.
And just because that somebody, Mrs. Thatcher, decided to sell it all and put us all into debt, slaves, doesn't mean it's right, and it doesn't mean it's lawful.
Free energy, yeah. My dad wrote to the government about a car that could charge itself, and it'd have a bunch of batteries on board, and basically you'd have free energy. And they said they weren't interested. He passed it on to Richard Branson. He wrote to Richard Branson because Richard Branson said he offered, I think it was £1 million or £3 million, something like that, to anybody that could invent an energy-saving device. And anyway, Richard Branson sent it back to my dad and said, "We're not interested. Send it to Honda." So my dad sent all his plans to Honda. They wrote to him and said that we've destroyed them. This was a few years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago. And then all of a sudden, in Formula One, Honda brought out the KER system, the kinetic recovery, which charged a battery as you moved along, which gave you more power. Surprise, surprise. All this suppressed technology. Do you think somebody should lobby the Parliament? Do you know, I hate saying the word government anymore, because in a bit we're going to do another video, and we're going to talk about what's happened at Los Angeles Airport, LAX, and about what the words that are being used against us, the neuro-linguistic programming, is being used for. So everybody knows about free energy, so why are we not being given free energy? How come, Salon?
Because they want to keep us debt slaves.
Of course. Human beings are money sport.
Imagine if we didn't have to pay any gas or electric bills. Suddenly you've got a load of money for yourself to use, and you can be happy. But they don't want you happy, because a poor, impoverished person, for want of a better term, is easier to control. That's what it's all about, control. And making you think that the money is actually valuable.
So that's it for now. We'll talk to you later.